The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the December 5th, the magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Would love to hear from you at 877-927-6648. Now, if you'd like to call but you can't, you can always send me an email. You send that to steve@tfnn.com, and I'll be happy to review what it is your request is. And, of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on a magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got all the U.S. indices trading to the downside. In fact, we have most things trading to the downside. Apple's not. It's up 13 pennies. The Dow's off 208. S&P's off 35. NASDAQ 176 and Russell 33. That's 0.6, 0.9, 0.6, and 1 7/10% to the downside. Gold's off $19. That's a little over 1%. Silver's down 2 3/4% or 63 cents. Light sweet crude is now just slightly negative, down 8 pennies. Natural gas is anything but negative. It's going back after its, I think it's October or no, probably it's November lows out there, off about 8% or 50 cents. And the 30-year Treasury down 20 ticks. He's trading out at 129.05. Now, leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Solar Edge Technologies. That's up nearly $8. Science Application International up $6. Baidu up $6. Universal Display OLED is up $6, and Boeing is up $5.15. To the downside, it's led by Mercado Libre off $26, 2 7/10%. Paycom Software down $17, a little over 5%. Synopsys off nearly 4% or $14. ServiceNow down 13 and change. Avis Budget Group down 15. That's about a 7% move to the downside. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. How about if we take a look at the markets just in general? So in general, let's go take a look at what market breadth looks like here. Let's begin with the S&P 500. If we take a look at the S&P 500, we're bullish for the weekly. We're bullish for the daily time frame. We've got bearish crossovers. This one here for the 240-minute chart must have just taken place or took place recently, that's for sure. Right now on a 4-hour time frame chart, we've got 123 instruments trading above profile, 220 below the bottom. So that's going to help us to go take a look at the 60-minute chart and the 240-minute chart to see if there's any kind of support levels for those two time frames. As we take a look at the NDX 100 right now, the NDX 100 we can see. So this is kind of interesting here. The NDX, it only has a bearish crossover for the 60-minute time frame. On a 60-minute time frame, there are 19 instruments that trade above a 60-minute profile, 48 trading below the bottom of the profile. So it would be the 60-minute time frame chart that we want to pay attention to, see if we can find any type of a signal of a bottom. So let's switch over, take a look at the ES Mini. Oops, how did that happen? What did that happen? Let me go try this here. Change windows. There we go. So in a moment, we'll get our 9 or 8 panel multi-time frame charts, with the longest time frame here being the daily chart. So in the ES Mini, the pullback, you've got the S&P down 33 points. You've got the ES Mini off 34 points. What price is doing? It's trading above the top of its profile. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line. As long as those two conditions remain, then the momentum to the upside is still present out there. What would be required really be, I'd have to say, a close below today, 40.21, and that could then suggest a further pullback. Now, with regard to support, we're looking at the bottom of that profile at 39.39, which was tested a couple different times last week. That held as support. Resistance failed, which was the top of the profile. And all that suggests that we should see a move up towards the 41.75 level. That's the TD9 count breakdown area. On a 5-hour time frame chart, I don't have much out here to take a look at other than we did see back on Friday, we saw price move back. Was that Friday? Yeah, that was on Friday. Price moved back, tested, and rejected its breakout level at the 39.50 area. So it's the 4-hour time frame chart that we'll get to right now. Remember, the 4-hour time frame chart shows negative TAS market profile breadth, meaning that more instruments are trading below the bottom of their 4-hour time frame versus those trading above the top of their profile. Well, if we take a look at the 240-minute chart, it's actually trading above the top of a bearish structured profile. So even though you've got negative market breadth here, we can see the price would need to close below 4,004. That is a bearish structured profile. 4 hours. Let me just expand it out, make it a little bit easier, make sure we're all looking at the same, singing from the same hymnal out here. Now, you do see the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that formed out here at 2 o'clock. That was on Friday. That was on Friday afternoon out there. And what that did was that led to a test of support. Now, in this case here, because it's a bearish structured profile, and when this profile formed, quite frankly, price is above it. That was a bullish signal. Now, because price was above a bearish structured profile, if the move back, if the retracement back is simply a counter trend move where price will find support, it's typically at the 4,004 level. The actual low that took place at 10 o'clock in the morning, this was on Friday out here, got down to 4,006, and 4,004 is the center line of that bearish structured profile. So now, I would have to go with more of a neutral call here on the 240-minute chart with price above, leaning neutral, with price above the top of that profile. Really, to get totally neutral, you got to get above that green oscillator and change line. That's 40.67. Any counter trend move to the upside now could find or should find resistance at that level. So that's the 240-minute or the 4-hour time frame chart. Let's see what the 60-minute or the hourly chart here communicates to you and I. So here, this formed wave number 7. This formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that led to an A to B equals CD to the downside. Never got a bullish reversal candle. We're now back inside the a big move to the downside. I think that was on Friday after the jobs report out there. Here, what we have right now is price just consolidating with inside the profile. Don't have any kind of a bottom signal out here just yet, although, yeah, don't really have a bottom signal. What we can say about the hourly time frame chart for the ES Mini is price pulled back, tested and held support, and that support level is 40.30. And now what you'll watch is the oscillator and change line and any further move to the upside out there, and watch that 40.53 level. That could or should be resistance. If price is able to move above that, we could see a move back into the 40.85-ish type range out there. Now, as we just take a look at all the other time frame charts to see if there's any other signals here that maybe we have overlooked, I don't see anything worth noting inside the ES Mini. So let's do this real quickly. Let's get up the NQ charts. It may take just a few moments here. We're going to go to a break, or the music will start playing in about 3 moments out here. And let's just see if we get this populated. Looks like we may not be able to do that. And all that means is we'll just simply come back from this break. We'll take a look at the NQ. We're going to focus on that 60-minute time frame, see if we can figure out what it's doing, because it does have negative market breadth. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow down 226, S&P's off 41, NASDAQ 100, 101. We're taking a look at the NQ right now. We're looking at the 60-minute time frame. It's the one of the 4 time frames that we monitor, weekly, daily, 4-hour, and 1 hour. For the NQ, that shows a negative market breadth. What that means, there's more instruments trading below the bottom of their profile for a 60-minute time frame. That is not the case right now for the NQ as you look at its charts, versus those trading above the top of their profile. So when we look at the NQ, don't have a pattern out here worth noting, other than we can say that price moved back lower this morning. It moved right into its bullish structured hourly profile support zone. That support zone is between 11,838 and 11,871. And during that last hour, that was between the 10 and 11 o'clock time frame, what was formed was a bullish hammer candle. So what you and I do know is that bulls are trying to protect this area. And again, this area is somewhere between the 11,838 to 11,871 level. Now, what price needs to do to get on its merry way is at least get back above the top of its profile, and that currently sits at 11,969. So what we've got right now is a good old-fashioned consolidation with regard to the NQ. As we take a look at its other charts out here, there's not really much worth noting that I see off the top of my head. They look very similar really to the ES mini charts. So no reason for me to waste any of your time, and therefore we won't. So let's get to a few questions that have come in. Of course, you can give us a call at 877-927-6648. We'd love to hear from you. First question coming in from Nicholas A. And Nicholas wants to take a look at United Airlines. Would you please go over United Airlines TD9 count? Where's daily and weekly resistance? Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. So we've got United Airlines up on our screen out here. What we can see at the moment is price is taken on a swing point. That's a swing point from back on the trading session of November 15th. There was 7 million shares that traded hands that day. You are already in the 4.7 million shares. So this is pushing into a swing point with volume out there. So that is bullish. I know you didn't necessarily ask for that, but first we're just simply going to review the chart for you. So a close about 45.57. That in, we're at 45.64 right now. And I'll take out that resistance level and suggest we move higher to where? Move higher to where? I'd look then to the weekly time frame chart, Nicholas. And on the weekly time frame chart, there's a new weekly profile that is attempting to form this week, or is forming this week. And right now, price is above the top of that profile. That level, or a level for you to be watching, is 45.57. So if we trade above or close above 45.57 on the daily time frame, and we're doing it with volume, that suggests a further move higher. And a close above 45.57 on the weekly time frame would be a close above its weekly profile. Then that next higher price or target area would become 48.63. And 48.63, Nicholas, is the TD9 count breakdown level coming off of the weekly time frame chart. 48.60 turns out is the top of the monthly profile. So you asked for the TD9 counts. There are no TD9 counts in play really on the daily time frame. Today is likely going to become bar number 2. On a weekly time frame, this week is likely going to become bar number 8. Now, in order to become bar number 8 on a weekly basis, United Airlines must close above, I'll give you that number, 44.71. If it does do that, then the suggestion, Nicholas, is that this could form a weekly TD9 count top between this week, which we will not know till Friday, and quite frankly, the end of the year out there, December 30th out here. I think from a trading perspective. Well, maybe I don't know when the 31st is at. So with regard to the TD9 counts, that's on the weekly time frame. On a monthly, you're bar number 3 this month out here. Price is trading above last month's high at the moment. That is a bullish signal. So you're on a daily basis. You're pushing higher with volume. That suggests a run up to the 46.30 level. That's a TD9 count breakdown area. The weekly says 48.63 becomes a target and 48.60 on the monthly time frame. So, Nicholas, I hope that helps you out with regard to United Airlines. And on a 30-minute chart, you're in bar number 7 as we speak, so we don't see a topping signal here just yet. So thanks so much for the request. I hope you have a wonderful week out there, and we'll look forward to hearing back from you again soon. Next question. Coming inside the Tiger's Den. This is coming in from G-Man. And G-Man earlier was noticing there may be some kind of divergence because Apple was trading higher just slightly and the NASDAQ 100 was moving lower. That has just changed slightly. Now you do have the Apple trading down for the day. But what is it actually doing out here? So let's go take a look. You've got a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. This forms back in October at the October lows. Makes a nice move higher. I don't see why it stopped at the level that it did, but it did. Move back to, in essence, retest those October lows. Gets the Sam heck out of there, makes a move, finds resistance at the center of its bearish structured profile. That was at the 152.15 level. Now what you've got is prices just consolidating with inside that bearish structured profile. So G-Man, an area to watch is certainly the bottom of that profile. It's not like it's strong support. We've seen price below that level out here without too much difficulty. Nonetheless, there are buyers that are lined up there. And those buyers that are lined up is in the 146.80 level. If price closes below 146.80, well, it suggests moving back towards the 1129 low out there. But the question is, does it get all the way there, or do we get our fourth higher low inside of Apple? I do not know the answer to that question. On a weekly basis, G-Man, we've got a nice consolidation between support of the bottom of its profile, 137.36. And then what's acting as resistance, this is a bearish structured weekly profile. And therefore, 155.29 has been that resistance point. On a monthly time frame, what you have is a good old-fashioned consolidation. So you got a consolidation on the monthly, a consolidation on the weekly. You'll watch the bottom of that daily profile for Apple to give you some type of clue as to where it's headed to on a 30-minute, on an intraday time period out there, G-Man. You know, you were right, absolutely right in identifying that there was a divergence with regard to price moving higher. And here, as we take a look at Apple, at 10 o'clock this morning, price was moving higher, but was doing it with less relative energy. And that's a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. It's automatically drawn in there, that black diagonal line. I did not draw that in there. It's a set of rules. I teach those rules to you. If you're interested in those rules, and you really should be, just go subscribe to Mastering Probability. You can do it for less than 30 days. It costs you nothing. And you've got the Tiger dollars that are out there. So you might like it, and then you use those Tiger dollars, and you get quite a decent bonus. Off of discount off of the newsletter. So here you've got that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. It gets triggered Then it gets confirmed with that little dark cloud cover candle. Now price below its oscillator and change line. Looks like Apple's going to go target 146.57, a brand new profile on a 30-minute basis that has formed out there. If price gets below or closes below 146.57, that would suggest lower price out there. So that's what's going on. We take a look at the charts here for Apple. Let's go on to our next question. This one coming in from Tim M. And Tim wants to take a look at AZPN, which is Aspen Technology. So let's get AZPN going on our screens out here. Let's read the question. I have a long position in Aspen Technologies. Could you please take a look at the daily and weekly time frame? So we're definitely going to do that. We just got to let this thing here populate. What we'll probably do here, Tim, is we'll go ahead and we will review Aspen Technology, and we will do that as soon as we get back from this breakout here. So all of you playing the home game out there, go take a look at AZPN. Tell me, really tell Tim, what is Aspen Technologies doing? Where's it headed to? Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got Aspen Technology up on our screen out here. This is for Tim M. He's got a long position in it. He's just simply asking to take a look at the daily and the weekly time frame. So here's what we notice on the weekly time frame. Tim, let's just start there. This completed an A to B equals CD to the upside. It completed it when it generated the bearish engulfing candle in the month of the week of October 28th out there. Now, since that has taken place, all that we really have is a consolidation between support and resistance. Support is at the bottom of its profile at 210.29, and resistance is up at the top of its profile. That's up at the 263.59 level. That's a very large range out there, but that's what you're dealing with. On the daily time frame, it gets a little bit easier to see. What I noticed, what really stuck out at me first was this little descending price channel that price is trading into. The top of that price channel is really helping to contain price out there. So now what we have is we have a profile, bearish in structure, that formed out here on Thursday of last week. Now what price is doing, it's trading below the center of that profile. The center of that profile is at 231.98. So 231.98 is a level you're going to want to watch today, because if price closes below that, then the signal is what typically would happen when you close below the center of a bearish structured profile. It usually gives the sellers the energy and the ability to push price down to test support. That would be the bottom of that profile. The bottom of that profile is at the 218.89 level. The other thing here, Tim, that you can take a look at is the current profile, the one that formed on Thursday. Well, the high is below the prior high. The low is below the prior low. So that also communicates to us about a downtrend that is in place out here for Aspen Technology. So the monthly chart, no reason for us to take a look at it because there's just not enough data to provide us with pattern information. So it does look like Aspen Technology. Again, you want to watch the center of that profile. That's where you'll get the clue from, that number 231.98. Now, the last clue may come from a 30-minute time frame chart. On a 30-minute time frame chart, this price got all the way up to its TD9 count breakdown area, its second TD9 count breakdown area, and that was at the 243.70 level. Found resistance, gaps down, it gaps down. That's at 10 o'clock this morning out here. That confirms a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Price is below its bullish structured profile. It's in bar number 5. Odds favor, Tim, that what Aspen Technologies is doing on a short-term time frame is targeting its breakout level of 223.67. So you're in bar number 6 as we speak right now. This could form, this is a 30-minute chart again that we're looking at. This could form a TD9 count, so we're in bar number 6. So we're at, that's noon, get you bar number 6, 12:30 bar number 7, 1 o'clock bar number 8. So between 1 and 2 p.m. today is when, on a 30-minute basis, Aspen Technology could form a TD9 count bottom. We really have to see what the candles look like over the coming hour or so out there. So that's what we're taking a look at. We take a look at Aspen Technologies. Again, that is ticker symbol AZPN. I hope that provides you all of the information that you're looking for, Tim. Thanks so much for writing in, and have a magical, magnificent Monday out there. The next question coming in from the Tiger's Den, and I don't know that we really touched on it entirely, which is from Tim, asking what's the short-term view on the QQQs out there. So let's do two things. Let me actually stay with these charts here, and I'm just going to go to the short-term time frame here for us, Dennis. This is for Dennis G. and the Tiger's Den, and then we'll go back and take a look at those shorter-term time frames for the NQ out there, and that's how we'll put that together. So we'll just give a moment here for, there we go. So I got the Qs up. It's the 30-minute chart that I wanted to take a look at. So on a 30-minute basis out here, and we'll go take a look at the 30-minute chart for the NQ. Well, you got a TD9 count top. That forms at 10:30 in the morning. It does that on December the 1st out there. That TD9 count top leads to a move lower, leads to a gap to the downside. It does that at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's on Friday out there. Price just simply continues to move and continued to move higher, but found resistance. This is the QQQ ETF at the bottom of its daily profile. There's a new profile that formed out here. It formed at 10 o'clock this morning. Price is trading below the bottom of that bullish structured profile. So price is going to go target, or should target, that swing low from the move to the downside, or the gap to the downside on Friday after the jobs report. That swing point has volume of 6.4 million shares on a 30-minute basis. We're only 4 minutes into it, so the volume is sort of irrelevant, but it's 319,000 shares as we speak. So that's what the QQQ, very short-term or 30-minute chart, is communicating to us. We did take a look at the, well, let's do this here. Let me get the Edge product going from Taz out there, because we can take a look at the 30-minute Taz market breadth for the NQs out here, for the Qs. So let me see if I can get this thing, pull this up on our screen here. Voila, we can. Let me move this all the way over. Let's stay with this. We're just looking for, again, short-term time frame. What is the market communicating to you and I for the NQs? We're going to switch over to that. and just try to understand, is there bullish or bearish market breadth? Well, right now, as we speak, for the NQ, there's bullish market breadth. What I mean by that, or what the charts mean by that, is our 26 instruments inside the NDX 100 trading above the top of their 30-minute profile, 22 trading below the bottom. So now let's go take a look at the NQ charts out here. Move this back. Let's get over. I don't know if I've got the NQ still up there. I hope that I do. I do. Voila. Bang. Now, so the 30-minute chart has positive market breadth. And this is in the process right now of, by noon, completing a TD 9-count bottom. This is the bar following bar number 9 out here. Bar number 8 did make a low for the pattern, but that low is now being tested as we speak. So your very short-term view, and this is using a 30-minute time frame, and it's at 11:36, so would like to know exactly what it's at 12:01. But you do have positive or bullish market breadth. Don't know if it will continue to maintain that. But right now at 11:36 in the morning, we do, and this suggests we should see a TD 9-count bottom take place between now and noon. So that's what I would be looking for there. Now, as we take a look at the other intraday charts out here, so we'll go to shorter time frames, and in the 60-minute chart, we do have that hammer candle that formed, as I mentioned, and price pulling back into its bullet structured profile out there. So if there is going to be a bottom, we'll see something form, or we should see something form on a 10 and 15-minute chart out here. Well, the 10-minute chart is actually in the process of negating the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal out here. Never really confirmed, because we take that back, it did confirm. It confirmed with that little key reversal bar out here. That key reversal bar inside the NQ on a 10-minute basis, that formed at 10:30 this morning. So now what we've got is we have price trading below support out here. No bottom signal as we speak. So for those of you that are trading both sides of this market out here, knowing that the 30-minute has positive or bullish TAS market profile breadth, knowing that you've got a TD 9-count bottom that looks to be forming out there, go to those shorter-term time frame charts. Maybe it's a 5, certainly a 10 or 15-minute chart, and look for some type of signal there. If you don't get that type of signal, well, maybe that market breadth is going to switch to bearish, and price is going to take out, I would say, the 11,838 level. That is the bullish structured 60-minute profile out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at the NQ. Is there anything else out here that Stevie can add? So I'm taking a look at this. Nothing that I see. So the other thing that we should do, let's do this here. Let's go take a look at the other 30-minute time frame chart. The preference is always when you're forming a bottom, or when this is forming a bottom. First, I got to figure out, where did I put those charts? Give me 1 second here. I'm sort of doing two things at once, but I'm not doing them very well. 30-minute equity future charts. There we go. So ideally, when you get like a TD 9-count bottom pattern that's forming on the NQ out there, you like to see that form on the other instruments as well. So that's what I'm pulling up right now on our screen out here. We'll be able to take a look at this, I hope, before we actually close out and go to the break. But if not, we'll certainly look at it when we come back to this break. Well, with about 15 seconds to go, there's your NQ. That's got a TD 9-count. Our Russell 2000 does not. The ES Mini does. The Dow does not. We'll come back and look at these charts as soon as we get back to them.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow down to about 300 points. The S&P's off 48. Russell is down 41. NASDAQ 100 is off 133. What we have up on our screen right now, so we were taking a look at those intraday charts out there for the NQ. And then I went ahead and populated we looked at all 30-minute charts. We're going to go do that here momentarily. It was only the ES and the NQ that show that TD9 count bottom. So just like we were looking at the NQ, we're looking at the TAS market breadth for the S&P 500. Much more bearish than the NQ was. You've got 59 instruments trading above the top of a 30-minute profile and 203 trading below the bottom. Now, the NQ did switch over to the dark side out there. You now have more instruments trading above trading below the bottom of the profile versus those above. That's 10 above and 34 below. So conditions here, will those TD9 counts take hold? That's really the question out there. And it would be better if we had all four of the equity future contracts in that pattern. We don't, just the top two, the ES and the NQ. What I'd be watching for there is, do I know whether it will take hold or not? I don't. I'd be watching for the intraday charts. I'd go to a 5 or 10 minute chart. If you see, and I'd be watching both instruments out there to see if they show something similar. Inside the NQ, you've got a profile that we had talked about. Inside the ES Mini, we do not. And I don't have a bottom signal at all inside the Russell or the Dow Equity Future contract for the 30-minute time frame. So just know that in 17 minutes, you'll get TD9 counts for the ES and the NQ. Now, the cool thing about that is that if those lows get taken out, then that's going to communicate to us that prices headed lower, at least to get back to test the Jobs Friday move lower between 8:30 and 9. For the ES Mini, that low out there is at the 4,006 level. Inside the NQ, that low is at the 11,740.50 range out there. So that's what's going on. We take a look at those intraday charts out there. I hope that helped you out, Dennis, and thanks so much for the request. Our next request is to take a look at natural gas. This is for Alton. So for natural gas, let me let's do this here. Let's put up the natural gas charts. It's the January contract that's being traded. So let's take a look at those. Now, what natural gas is doing, as these charts here populate, what natural gas is likely doing, because it's trading below the bottom of its daily profile, it did complete a sell the D point pattern. We'll take a look at that momentarily. You can see this right now on the left-hand side. The daily chart has populated itself. We can see the price is below the bottom of its profile. That was at $6.33. So price is going to go target, or should target, that swing low from October 24th. That swing low is at a prices for the January contract is at a price of $5.64. Does it have to get down there and test it? It doesn't, but you've got a gap to the downside. It's really the intraday charts out here that we take a look at to look for some bottoming signals. So if we start with the 10-minute chart, bottom right, you've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. So that says if you get a close below that low, by the way, is $5.72. Then more likely than not, you get back to 564. You've got a TD9 count bottom on the 15-minute chart. Should be the same factor. 572 is the bottom there. You have a TD9 count and Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom on the 30-minute chart for natural gas. So that says it's attempting to form a bottom out here. You need a bullish reversal candle on the 60-minute to confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Same is true for the 120-minute chart. No bottom pattern. In fact, you have a negated TD9 count on the 4-hour time frame chart. And with a close below on a 5-hour time frame, that would be at about 2 p.m. Close below 578 would negate its TD9 count bottom out here. So natural gas. Oh, let me see here. What was the actual question? That would be a good thing to do, is to go take a look at the actual question out here. It says, where do you see support for natural gas? So we see support at that swing point low. It's being helpful by the 15, the 10, and the 30-minute charts that have Rhodes Momentum confirmed bottom patterns as we speak right now. So I'd watch the low of the day. If the low of the day is closed below, that tells you we have lower price. Otherwise, you could see some type of rally out here. That rally, where would that take us to? The next move up, assuming that those bottoms hold, I would say the rally would take us up to about 585 or 589. So, Alton, I hope that helps you out with regard to natural gas. Next request coming in from David. David H. in Tomball, Texas, I believe, is who wrote in. It is, and David wants to take a look at Canopy Growth. CGC is the ticker symbol. So let's go ahead and get that fired up on our screen out here. And let's go read David's question. It goes like this. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you as well. Please do your analysis on Canopy Growth. If volume comes in by the end of the week, this looks to be forming an A to B equals CD up on the weekly time frame chart. So let's go take a look at that. Is this an A to B equals CD to the upside? Absolutely could be. That A point out here, we take the low of that Morningstar pattern. It looks to me like that's the low of October 28th or the week of October 28th. So we'll draw on the A to B point out there. And the swing point that David is referring to, if he didn't mention it, that's the November 18th swing point that had a volume of 82 million shares. And as he pointed out, too early to tell whether we're going to have the volume or not. Prices trading above last week's high. That is a bullish signal out there. So even if it doesn't get confirmed, but closes above the top of its profile, closes above that swing point out there, this can still do an A to B equals CD. I'm trying to just grab this bar if I can. I'm usually good at bars. Wow. And apparently not so good. Grab it. Let's do this. Let me try to copy it. There we go. Maybe that'll work. So this gives us a potential 1-to-1 A to B equals CD up into the 564 level. So now let's go look at the daily time frame. And thanks for pointing that out to all the viewers, David, that this could be forming an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. On the daily time frame, the swing point that it's dealing with is November 15th. That swing point on a daily basis generated volume of 19.9 million shares. So far, basically the first 2 hours of trading, wow, this has done 16 million shares. So this is confirming another daily A to B equals CD to the upside pattern out there. And on the monthly time frame chart for Canopy Growth, the resistance level is the top of its monthly profile. We have not seen Canopy Growth close above the top of a monthly profile since March of 2021. Pretty long time. So this could be a signal. And certainly if you can close above the top of its profile out there, it would be a signal of a bottom inside of Canopy Growth. So you want to watch $5.18 to the upside. That's the top of it. Is that right? I don't know if that's right. 513 is the number. So $5.13 is the level to be watching there. Let's go back to my other charts, the black background charts out here, and take a look at Canopy Growth and the daily A to B equals CD pattern out here. So we'll switch over to those in a moment. We'll just open up the daily time frame. And, so there's two A to B equals CD patterns. Here's the small one. Let's go ahead and draw that in. We're going to put in both. That one completed out here, or I believe it completed. Maybe it didn't. But it looked to me visually like it did. Yeah, it did out here, basically in the trading day of November the 15th out there. And then it pulled back inside its bullish structured profile. In essence, found support above 330. That was the center of that bullish structured profile. And now what we might have is a new A to B equals CD pattern on a daily basis. Well, in fact, I don't think we will. It looks like we're going to. It just depends on the close. So we're going to use for the A point, I'm going to use the same swing point of October 24th out there. Whoops. I didn't do that correctly. Give me a moment here. We'll get the proper A to B equals CD pattern. So we're using the low, not the high, of October 24th. And we're using that high from November 15th. That pullback looks like the low took place on November 29th out there. That'll be the C point. 1-to-1 should take you up to 567. So Canopy Growth should be able to take out that 513 level. That's the next battleground area for you, David. Thanks so much for writing in. Have a magical Monday. We'll be back in just a few. We're going to take a look at Halliburton for Hector.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at Halliburton. This is for Hector. And Hector is asking about the A to B equals CD pattern, support and resistance, and so forth. So on the daily time frame, I won't switch back to the white background charts, but you do have a bearish engulfing candle at the moment, 1154. If that does turn out to be a bearish reversal candle, that'll confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Now, the level to be watching here is this is the daily time frame, is the top of that profile, Hector, and that is at 3762. Price closes below that. It'll also be below the oscillator and change line, which is currently at 38.59, not shown here. And that would then suggest move to 36.68 or 35.73. With regard to the A to B equals CD pattern, you were asking about the large one going back to March of 2020. We could just use the monthly time frame. That's what I have drawn in there. We don't know if this is going to turn into an A to B equals CD to the upside until price closes about 43.99, and if it does it with volume, which would be more than 260 million shares out there. So that's that pattern. But there is a weekly A to B equals CD that could form, and that would require a close above 39.99. The volume there was 44 million shares. Last week, price was moving up with 43.9. That's 44 million shares. So it's moving in with similar volume out here. Nonetheless, you've got resistance, and that is a new weekly profile that formed a couple of weeks ago. It is bearish in structure, and 39.99 is also the top of that profile. So the key here, Hector and Patty, is going to be that 39.99 level. And in fact, if price can close above that on a weekly basis with more than 44 million shares, then you've got an A to B equals CD, the upside that should take it to 50.09. If that's the case, that then should get us above that 43.99 level. And that's the weekly or the monthly swing point for Halliburton. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks much for writing in. The last question, we don't have a lot of time, but AFMD for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. So let's get that populated here, AFMD. And the question was something like long-term levels. So long-term levels, I would think, Dan, what you're asking about would be the weekly profile areas. You got strong support at $154. Both the center and bottom are at that level. Your strong resistance level, 238. If price can close above 238 or pierce above it, then the move would take you to 395. Now, quite a wide profile in the daily time frame out there, Dan. That's bullish in structure. That's between 176 and 255 out there. I'm just looking at my other charts. You got a nice TD9 count bottom on the weekly, and a Rhodes momentum indicator signal on the weekly. And so, but 238 is your real battle. Folks, have a magical Monday. I'll see you on Terrific Tuesday. Take care.